There's so many changes right now in the world. Really, no matter where you live, there's changes. The kids are home from school. You're having to readjust your life to accommodate having the kids home from school, maybe not having a job to go to during the day, or you do have a job to go to during the day, and you just don't know what you're going to do with the kids. Particularly kids with disabilities have a hard time during changes, times of changes, times when things are not predictable. And right now, that's the one thing that we certainly don't have in the world is predictability. I have 5 things that I want to talk about today that I'm hoping are going to help things be a little bit more consistent, a little bit more predictable in your home, and therefore kind of make lives a little bit easier for everybody. So before you get started, I think it's a really good idea to have a conversation with your child's teacher if you have a child who normally goes out to school. Now, a lot of parents today are homeschooling already, so it shouldn't be as big of a change for them, although certainly instead of going out and doing things in the community, the homeschool parents are having to be more at home than ever before. So that's certainly a challenge. And some of the things I'm going to talk about are beneficial to homeschooling parents as well. But if you haven't yet had a conversation with your teacher to be able to get hopefully some supplies, know what they were working on when they were in school, and if you haven't heard from them, you could go on to your State Department of Education's website. All of your state standards should be there, whether your child is on state standards or off the regular state standards. Every school system in the United States has an established set of parameters when it comes to the curriculum and the instruction that our kids are supposed to be receiving. So check that out if you haven't had communication with your teacher or you really don't have much information to go by, okay? So number 1, what you want to do is kind of build a schedule in your home that's similar to their school schedule. So it'd be great if you already have the classroom schedule so you kind of know what it is that they're doing during the course of the day, whether they spend their days in regular education classrooms or special education classrooms. They should have a schedule that's consistent every day. So you want to get your hands on that schedule if you can and mirror it as much as you can. So you might start school at 9 instead of 8, and that's okay. You don't have to be as rigid as a regular school day. So there is flexibility. They're kids and they're at home. So you can alter the schedule as you see fit. But if you keep the schedule as structured as possible and maybe post it up on your refrigerator so that everybody can see it, what we're going to do at 9, from 9 to 9:20, from 9:20 to 9:45, that'd be really great so that everybody knows this is what we're going to do Monday through Friday. Your weekends should pretty much stay as they were. There's no reason to do school every single day, okay? Number 2, get exercise every day. I know that, they're telling us to stay inside, and we certainly need to practice social distancing and, to a point, some isolation. But if you live in a home and you have a yard, go out in your yard. Go out for a walk on the sidewalk. I know there's lots of families in my neighborhood that are taking walks. We're keeping our social distance. We're respecting the boundaries of others as we walk. But just to get outside and catch a deep breath, get some exercise. Don't forget your kids' sensory needs. So don't assume just because we're home and we're stranded inside that the person's sensory needs go away. They won't. And it will become so much more challenging if you have a person in your home who has these sensory needs where they have to get those needs met and yet they're not getting any input. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. So if you have a backyard with the swings are awesome. Trampolines, if you have that, it's awesome. Jumping jacks. My son used to do great with jumping jacks. He used to do jumping jacks. We would say, either 10 or 20, depending upon the year and where he was developmentally, before we started doing homework. And his brain would work so much better after he had gotten that input. Play-Doh is great. Being able to really get their hands in there. Rolling around on a ball. If you have a ball at home, those big giant balls are great because they can get on their tummy and they can roll around on the balls. You hold on to their feet, their hands. Playing catch back and forth, rolling a ball back and forth. Sometimes you got to structure it, so maybe build that into your schedule. You can have it where maybe you're going to work on turn taking. We just got to do 3 turns. That's it. But you want to make sure that it's clearly outlined and structured so that your child knows, what do I have to do in order to accomplish this? And then what's my reward? You got to build in the rewards too. Teachers get what they get out of kids because they give them rewards. So you can do this as a parent, and you're gonna find that you're quite skilled as an educator, as a parent. You live with these kids 24/7. And I really think that this is an opportunity for you all to see just how capable your kids are. No matter what you've heard from the school, no matter what the IEP has said, I really think that if you take this opportunity, if you're able to take this opportunity, because maybe you're home, that you'll be able to really get some great stuff out of your kid and see like a lot of growth. So stick with it. Number 3, encourage participation in meal making. You know, making meals is a life skill, and we don't just develop that life skill when, you know, we move out from the home that we grew up in, but we develop that life skill of being able to cook meals, make sandwiches, pour cereal into a bowl, pour the milk on top, to be able to participate in a cooperative activity, making cookies, you know, being able to work together. I'm not suggesting that you leave your kids in the kitchen by themselves, but working together, teaching really great skills, measuring, you know, how long do I have to stir something in order for it to be mixed properly? Pancakes is a great recipe, and they're super yummy. And if your kid is gluten-free, there are some fabulous gluten-free recipes out there, and all of our major grocery stores these days carry gluten-free waffle and pancake mix that are super yummy, so you can catch those there. Number 4. Maintain a good sleep schedule. We get, as human beings, so much benefit from sleep. It decreases our stress. It decreases inflammation. It helps our brain retain information. In fact, there was a Harvard study that showed that when we get adequate sleep, and of course, from one person to another person might be a little bit different, but on average, about 8 hours of sleep a night. When we get good sleep, we're able to maintain the information that we learn to a much higher degree. So if you just Google Harvard and sleep studies, you're gonna find some great information about that. So that's how important sleep is. And I think a lot of times, especially during stressful situations like this, that we're not getting enough sleep. Number 5, listen to your kids. Listen to what their behaviors are telling you. If you have a child who can't verbally communicate or who has minimal verbal communication skills, their behaviors, their actions are going to show you what they think. And I think what a lot of parents aren't aware of is that if you have a kid who spends the majority of their day, or all day, majority of their day, in a special education classroom, so a separate specialized program classroom, they usually get about 2 20-minute teacher times per day. And that's if you're fortunate, because I've seen a lot of classrooms where they get 1 teacher time period a day of about 15 to 20 minutes. And then they're doing whole group learning during most of the day. A lot of the day is not spent on academics. Even for kids who are in regular education classrooms, reading, writing, and math, teachers spend about 3 to 3.5 hours a day, and most children are at school about 6. So you have to build in the downtime. If your child's behavior is telling you, I've had it, this is too much, stop, take a break. Build the breaks in, build fun activities in. Learning should be fun. And right now, we shouldn't be stressing each other out to learn. School will go back in time. We don't know how much time it's gonna take, but school will go back. Things will get back into the rhythm that we're used to. But for right now, we can teach our kids at home, play with your kids at home, help them learn. And I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised about what they'll show you that they can do. Parents of kids with disabilities who have 504 plans and IEPs do have rights. They have rights under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, even in times of national crisis. Keep following me, because in another video, I'm going to talk about what those rights are and what you need to do to prepare yourself as we move forward, and how to exercise those rights that you already have, but you may not be aware of. And more than anything else, stay connected. Call each other. Texting is great, social media is great too, but the way that we make emotional connections with each other are through our voices, through our words. So please reach out to family members that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. Talk to friends from school. Set up opportunities for Zoom sessions where you can actually see other people. and talk to them and share with them the trials that you're having, because no matter where you feel like you're at and things are really hard, there's somebody else out there who's already been there, done that, that can offer you some support and some guidance during this time.